top 100 most discussed posts. So these are the projects that really grabbed attention.
Yeah, and it's a real mix from AI-powered tools to like clever solutions for everyday things and even a few blasts from the past, but reimagined for today.
Definitely a lot of variety this month.
So jumping right in, one thing that really struck me was like how many projects are using AI now?
Yeah, it's everywhere. It feels like AI is touching just about every field, from creative tools to developer utilities.
It's kind of mind-blowing, like feels like paper.
Yeah.
Using AI to make physical paper interactive.
Oh, yeah, that one's really interesting. I mean, imagine scribbling notes and they just like instantly become digital.
Or like a paper map that updates with traffic in real time.
Yeah, exactly. It's like this cool blend of the physical and digital worlds.
Super cool. And then on a totally different note, there's Acture Unlock, that app that's trying to fight phone addiction.
Oh, right. The one that asks why every time you unlock your phone.
That's the one. Like such a simple idea, but I don't know, it could be really powerful.
Yeah, little nudge to make you think twice. I haven't tried it myself, but
Yeah.
I can see how that little interruption could help.
Yeah, break those automatic habits. And speaking of habits, Meal Planner aims to solve that eternal problem. What's for dinner?
Using a Tinder-like interface for picking meals? That's pretty clever.
Right. You swipe through meal options until you and like your partner or whoever agree on something.
Could be the end of dinner time arguments.
Maybe, maybe. Now, switching gears a bit on the more like technical side, we have Aid. It's an AI-powered IDE, totally open source. Uses those big language models to do things like intelligent code repair, rollback, even like running AI stuff locally.
Oh, interesting. So it's like having a super smart coding buddy built right in.
Right. And you know what else caught my eye? Vispray, an open source tool for processing those CSV files and visualizing data, all right there in your browser.
I mean, data visualization is so important these days. We're just swimming in data, and tools like that make it way easier for anyone to actually like make sense of it.
Totally. Democratizing data, I like it. Now, for those of us who always want more vacation.
Who doesn't?
Right. Stretch My Time Off is a website that helps you plan your vacation days around holidays to really maximize that time off.
That's smart. Especially with, everyone wanting more work-life balance. It's interesting how we can use algorithms to optimize our free time, too.
Right. Optimize everything. And from maximizing vacation to those epic gaming sessions, Lanparty gives you all the guides and codes for optimizing, well, LAN parties.
Oh, wow. A blast from the past. I remember those days, crowding around computers in someone's basement.
Good times.
Ah.
Maybe we should host one. Now, prepare to have your mind blown. Black hole vision. It simulates a black hole using your phone's camera.
Oh, I saw that one. It's more than just a cool effect, though. It's like a way to visualize something that's, like, impossible to really grasp, Bridging science in our everyday experience.
It's wild. And speaking of mind-blowing tech, there's Voice Pro, an AI voice cloning tool, totally open source, that can like easily copy celebrity voices.
The tech behind that is amazing, but it does raise some ethical questions, right?
Yeah.
Especially being open source.
Yeah, for sure. It's like, on the one hand, open source is awesome for innovation and accessibility, but then the technology is out there for anyone to use, for better or worse.
It's a tough one, for sure. We're going to see that ethical dilemma more and more as AI gets more powerful and, well, easier to get.
Absolutely. All right, last but not least, 5 million developers experience. This one's really cool. It's a WebGL game like that classic Marble Madness game, but it's celebrating Netlify hitting 5 million developers.
Oh, that's cool. So they're using gamification to, like, engage developers.
Yeah. Maybe it's the future of keeping developers interested and involved. I definitely play a coding-themed Marble Madness.
Me too. All right, so that's just a taste of what's been grabbing attention.
Stay with us because there's a lot more to explore.
We're just getting started with this deep dive into the coolest developer creations from November. So moving on from minimalist websites, there's this project, Closing WTF, that's like designed to help people not get ripped off when buying a house.
Oh yeah, that one caught my eye too. A free mortgage analysis tool to help understand those transaction costs. Buying a house is already stressful enough.
Tell me about it. Wading through all that paperwork is a nightmare.
Right. Anything that makes that whole process more transparent, I'm all for it.
It definitely fits with that theme we're seeing of like user empowerment,
Yeah.
Giving people more control and understanding, whether it's about their money or their data.
Makes sense. Makes sense. And speaking of empowering creators, we've got Jamcorder, this tiny device that automatically records digital piano performances.
Oh, that's cool. So you don't miss those like spontaneous moments of inspiration when you're just messing around.
Exactly. It's like a safety net for musical ideas.
Yeah. I love how technology can, like, support creativity in these subtle
Me
ways.
too. And then there's Draw.audio, a music sketching tool that uses the Web Audio API. Have you ever played around with that?
A little bit. It's pretty amazing what you can do with audio directly in the browser now.
Yeah, it's really opening up a lot of possibilities. So with this Draw.audio, it's like you're sketching with sound, you know,
Ah,
experimenting with different textures and rhythms.
it's like a digital canvas, but for music.
Exactly. And it's all in your browser, super accessible.
Definitely. Now, accessibility is a big part of readable transcripts, too. It uses, what's that new language model? Gemini LLM.
Yeah, Gemini LLM, it's a beast,
To improve the accuracy of YouTube's auto-generated captions.
which is huge for, people who are deaf or hard of hearing.
Hmm.
Makes online videos so much more accessible.
Absolutely. Really important stuff. Okay, ready for something a bit technical? JAWS is a compiler that takes JavaScript and turns it into WASM.
Oh yeah, WASM WebAssembly. It's like the new hotness for web development, right? Faster, more efficient.
Exactly. So JAWS is basically like a translator, making JavaScript code run super smooth in the browser.
And, I mean, the web just keeps getting more complex, so these kinds of optimizations are crucial.
For sure. Okay, this one's pretty cool. On Air lets you create links for instant calls right in the browser, no downloads or anything.
Oh, I saw that. It's like super simple communication. Just click a link and you're talking.
Yeah. It really shows how web tech is breaking down those barriers to connect, you know?
Totally. Now, remember Ski Free? Like the classic computer game?
Oh, yeah. The abominable snowman.
Well, Broski is basically that, but reimagined for the web.
Mm.
Get ready to be chased by Yetis again.
Uh-huh. That's awesome. It's fun to see those classic games coming back in new ways, and it shows how powerful web tech is now that you can, like, recreate those experiences.
Totally. Nostalgia and innovation all in one. All right, getting a bit more into the weeds here. Nova is a JavaScript engine built from the ground up. So like the core of your web browser, the thing that runs the JavaScript code.
Right, right. So basically, Nova could lead to even faster, more responsive web apps.
Potentially, yeah. I mean, it's all about that constant innovation in web development, always pushing the limits.
For sure. All right, this one's deep. Llama 3 interpretability, say, is all about trying to understand how those big language models work. Like, they're so complex now, it's almost like trying to understand a brain.
Yeah, it's a bit mind-boggling. So this project uses, was it sparse autoencoders to like peek inside those AI systems and figure out what's going on.
Really important research. As AI becomes a bigger part of our lives, we need to make sure we understand it, you know, and that we can trust it.
Absolutely. All right, shifting gears again. Proxmox VE helper scripts. Basically a bunch of scripts that make managing those Proxmox virtualization environments easier. So virtualization is like running multiple virtual computers on one physical machine. Super powerful stuff.
Right, and these scripts are like those little helpers that can save you a ton of time and headaches when you're dealing with all that complexity.
For sure. And for those who like to tinker with websites, the Jekyll Squalite plugin adds some serious data crunching power to Jekyll, which is a popular static site generator.
Oh, cool. So you can easily integrate data from databases into your Jekyll sites now.
Exactly. Makes things way more dynamic and interactive. Like imagine a website that pulls data to show the latest news or product listings all automatically.
Yeah, very cool. Okay, on the privacy front, Privastead is an open source home surveillance system that uses end-to-end encryption, so your footage is super secure.
That's a big one these days, right? People are more and more concerned about privacy, especially when it comes to like cameras in their homes.
Yeah. Absolutely. So with Privastead, you're in control of your data. No one else can access it.
Peace of mind. Okay, this one's super practical. AutoTab is like a programmable AI browser that can turn those repetitive tasks you do online into APIs.
Oh, interesting. So like if you're always, I don't know, booking flights or something, AutoTab could automate that for you.
Yeah, potentially. It's like having a personal assistant for the web.
Love it. And for photographers, there's myphotos.site, which lets you create those nice-looking gallery websites using your Google Photos.
Yeah, no need to be a web developer to showcase your work anymore.
Makes it so much easier to share your creativity with the world. All right, movie buffs, this one's for you. IMDb SQL Best Movie Finder is this web app where you can search through IMDb's massive movie database using SQL.
Oh, wow. So you can like write queries to find the best movies based on different criteria?
Exactly. It's a fun way to explore data and maybe discover some hidden gems.
Love it. And speaking of data, Vince is an open source alternative to Google Analytics, so you can track your website traffic without relying on those big companies.
Privacy-focused analytics, nice. Giving people more control over their data is definitely a trend we're seeing.
Absolutely. And on the health front, there's iLet, an app for managing diabetes that gives personalized meal suggestions and tracks your activity.
Really cool application of technology to help people manage their health.
Yeah, it's amazing what technology can do in that space. All right, back to the world of web development. Browser use is a tool that lets you interact with the web using natural language, like just plain English.
Oh, I saw that one. So instead of clicking around and typing stuff, you can just say, book me a flight to Paris or whatever.
Exactly. It's like bringing the power of conversation to the web.
That's the future, man.
Right. Now, for something completely different, Lyceum is a game built using Zig and Erlang, these up-and-coming programming languages.
Always cool to see new languages being used for creative projects like games.
Totally. Keeps things fresh. Okay, back to some practical tools. Scooter is a handy little utility for searching and replacing stuff in the terminal. Super helpful for developers.
Oh yeah, I could definitely see myself using that. Those little time savers are lifesavers sometimes.
Absolutely. And how about this for a game concept? Rebels in the Sky is a terminal-based multiplayer game where you're space pirates playing basketball.
Wait, what? Space pirates playing basketball?
Yeah, you heard that right.
That's hilarious. I love how creative these indie game devs are.
Right. So much fun stuff out there. Okay, for those who love PHP, Dumbo is a new framework that's all about making it easier to learn and share PHP code.
Community is so important in programming, so I love that they're focusing on that.
Me too. Now, DocuMind is an open source AI tool that can take those boring documents and turn them into structured data. Super helpful for anyone who deals with a lot of paperwork.
Oh man, that sounds like a dream. Imagine not having to manually enter all that data.
Right. Let the AI do the work.
Absolutely. Okay, front-end devs, this one's for you. Magic Patterns is a Chrome extension that takes website snippets and turns them into React components.
Super handy. No need to reinvent the wheel every time you need a specific design element.
Definitely a time saver. All right, tips.io is a cool one too. It's like a playground for Tailwind CSS where you can use AI to help you build and customize stuff.
Oh, that's awesome. AI design assistants are becoming a thing.
For sure. All right, this is a mouthful. Supersplat is an open source tool for editing those 3D point clouds. So point clouds are like those massive collections of 3D data points, super important for things like, I don't know, mapping or self-driving cars.
Right, right. And Supersplat makes it easier to work with all that data.
And it's open source, which is awesome. Now, how about some tech for sustainability? Monty Compost Tech has open sourced their compost monitoring technology.
Oh, that's cool. So anyone can build their own compost monitoring system now.
Yeah. It's a great example of how open source can be used for environmental good.
Totally. Okay, developers who work with Next.js, listen up. OpenNext.js AWS gives you all the info you need to host your Next.js apps on AWS.
Nice. So it's like a guide to make that whole deployment process smoother.
Exactly. Now, for Rust developers, Whirlwind is a library for asynchronous concurrent hash tables.
A bit technical, but basically it's a tool that makes Rust even more powerful for certain types of programming.
Right. Always cool to see those niche tools that solve specific problems.
Absolutely. All right, bookworms, this one's for you. Tea Time is like a distributed library of books built using Squai, IPFS, and GitHub. So it's all about decentralized access to information.
Very cool. It's like a library without walls.
Exactly. And speaking of old school communication, Morse is a tool for sending reminders using Morse code.
Oh, that's fun. Like a retro way to get someone's attention.
Definitely. Now, if you're looking for an alternative to Calendly, Someday is a free open source scheduling tool built on Google Apps Script.
So you can schedule appointments and stuff without relying on those paid services.
Exactly. And it's open source, so you can customize it however you want.
Awesome. Now, Windsurf is a new IDE integrated development environment from Codium, and it's powered by AI. So it's got all these smart features like autocomplete and code suggestions.
Oh, wow. So it's like having an AI pair programmer helping you out.
Right. And Bolt.new makes it super easy to share your screen with others just with a unique code.
No need for Zoom or anything like that.
Nope, just a simple web app.
Nice. Okay, C developers, check out C Web Modules. It's a web framework for C that supports hot reloading, which means you can see your code changes instantly.
That's super helpful for, like, speeding up development.
Definitely. Now, P is a language extension tool for closure, and it's based on indentation syntax. So, like, how you indent your code actually affects how it runs.
Oh, interesting. Different way of thinking about code structure.
Right. And Fireproof is a local first database that uses encryption and a Git-like synchronization model.
So it's all about keeping your data secure and in sync across different devices.
Exactly. Now, if you ever need to convert a website into Markdown, HTML to Markdown can do that for you super accurately.
Handy. Markdown's such a versatile format.
Totally. Okay, this one's a bit of a gray area. Venmo unofficial API gives you a way to interact with Venmo programmatically, but, it's unofficial.
Right, so use with caution.
Always good advice. Now, for privacy-conscious folks, Simplitics.dev offers GDPR-compliant web analytics without any subscription fees.
Nice. Analytics you can feel good about.
Exactly. And how about this? JSON-to-IE is a library that lets you visualize JSON data as graphics.
That's cool. Makes it way easier to understand complex data.
Definitely. All right, math enthusiasts, Integrate is a Rust library for numerical integration.
Super specific, but I'm sure someone out there needs it.
Right. Now, podcast lovers, check out Cardo, an open source podcast client for all platforms.
Nice. Support those open source projects.
Always. Now, Recur is a command retry mechanism that uses some fancy algorithms to make sure your commands eventually succeed.
So it's like if a command fails, it'll keep trying until it works.
Yeah, but in a smart way that doesn't overload the system.
Smart retries. Love it. And for music fans, Yami is an open source music player that lets you download tracks too.
Nice. So you can listen online or offline.
Exactly. Now, Mac users, if you need an OCR tool, Text Capture lets you grab text from anywhere on your screen.
Oh, handy. No more retyping stuff from images.
Exactly. And HyperDX is a tool for visualizing and searching through logs and traces, which is super helpful for developers.
Like a detective for your code. Now, Unbug is a debugging tool for Rust that lets you add breakpoints and stuff to your code.
Super helpful for finding and fixing those pesky bugs.
For sure. And Trilogy makes it easier to experiment with SQL queries, even if you're not a SQL expert.
Democratizing data analysis. Now, Weave uses machine learning to measure developer productivity, which is notoriously hard to do.
Yeah, it's more than just counting lines of code. It's trying to understand the actual impact of the work.
Right. Now, if you want to give someone cryptocurrency, Burner is a hardware wallet that looks like a gift card.
Oh, that's cool. It makes it way more approachable for people who are new to crypto.
Exactly. And if you need a unit converter, BetaConvert has you covered with tons of different units and super accurate calculations.
Nice. Precision is key. Now, Chonky is a super fast text chunking library, which is useful for AI applications.
Right. Text chunking is a big part of natural language processing.
Okay, ready for a unique game. Rock, paper, scissors roguelike is basically rock, paper, scissors, but with RPG elements.
Oh, that sounds fun. A twist on a classic.
Right, and Intro Them uses facial recognition to research people and analyze their personal information.
That one definitely raises some ethical concerns.
Yeah, it's a powerful technology, but it needs to be used responsibly.
It's a tricky balance for sure. Speaking of pushing boundaries, there's Krita, that open source art software. They got this new RGBA technology that's supposed to make metallic effects look super realistic.
Oh, interesting. I haven't heard about that. What does it actually do?
Well, it basically lets artists simulate how light bounces off metal, gives their digital paintings this amazing depth and realism.
Oh, wow. I can see how that would be a big deal for digital artists, bringing those traditional art techniques into the digital world.
Exactly. Bridging that gap. Okay, this one's super useful for developers. Brand.dev, you can use their API to get all sorts of info about different brands.
So logos and stuff.
Yeah, logos, color palettes, fonts, even social media links, all through a simple API call.
That could save so much time. No more digging around on websites trying to find the right assets.
Exactly. Now, Newbie Video Editor is a cool one. It helps you create those FFmpeg commands for video editing.
Oh, nice. FFmpeg is super powerful, but man, it can be complicated to use.
Tell me about it. So this tool basically makes it easier for anyone to do video editing, even if you don't know all those crazy FFmpeg commands.
Love it. Democratizing video editing.
Right. And for those who want to unleash their inner artist, there's Colorings AI. It turns your drawings into printable coloring pages.
Oh, that's cute. So you can, make your own custom coloring books.
Yeah. Or you can use their AI generator to come up with like totally unique designs.
Mhm.
Super fun for kids.
Definitely. Okay, this one brought back some memories. Conga Beat is a custom track editor for those old Donkey Konga games on the GameCube.
Oh, wow. Donkey Konga. I loved those games. So you can add your own music to the game now.
Yeah. It's amazing what those dedicated fans can do, bringing new life to those older games.
That's awesome. Okay, puzzle fans. Puzzlip is a simple open source tool for creating image puzzles.
Oh, that's cool. So, like jigsaw puzzles from any image.
Exactly. Family photos, famous paintings, whatever you want, print them out and solve them.
Nice. A fun little project.
And for students who are struggling with math, there's MathGPT. It creates these animated math videos that explain like complex concepts and problem-solving techniques.
Oh, that's interesting. Visualizing math can be so helpful for understanding.
Right. It's like the future of math education.
Mhm.
Okay, this one's for developers. Dracan is a simple 1.1 proxy tool, super lightweight and easy to use.
Nice. Sometimes you just need a basic tool that gets the job done without all the extra fluff.
Exactly. Okay, this one's a bit out there. Silent Poems takes text and turns it into these like abstract animated symbols. It's like visualizing unspoken thoughts.
Wow, that sounds really cool. It's like a new form of visual poetry almost.
Right. And Term Lisp is a new Lisp language based on pattern matching and term rewriting.
Oh, interesting. I'm always fascinated by new programming languages and paradigms.
Me too. It's like exploring different ways of thinking about code.
For sure. Okay, system administrators, listen up. Rally Up is a scheduling tool for Wake on LAN events. So you can like schedule your servers to turn on and off automatically.
Nice. And it uses YAML files for configuration, which is always a plus.
Okay, for those who like to keep track of their finances the old-fashioned way, Paper Money is a finance app based on double-entry bookkeeping.
Oh, wow. Old school accounting. But hey, it works.
Definitely. If you want that level of detail and control, double-entry bookkeeping is the way to go.
Now, Zyme is a bit mind-blowing. It's a programming language that uses like natural selection to create computer programs.
Yay, what? So it's like evolving code?
Yeah. It's based on the principles of genetic programming. Super fascinating stuff.
I may have to check that one out.
You should. Okay, for developers who need to update application configurations on the fly, Verse lets you do that without having to redeploy the whole app.
Oh, that's super useful. Saves a lot of time and hassle.
Exactly. And students, listen up. ILIRA is a free Chrome extension that helps you take notes and get instant answers to your questions, all while you're browsing the web.
Oh, that's cool. Like a super-powered study buddy.
Right. Powered by AI, of course. Now, One-Page GA is a simple dashboard for Google Analytics 4, similar to Plausible.
Nice. Analytics made easy.
Okay, this one's awesome for kids who are learning to code. Tutorial LM is a tool that uses AI to teach programming, and you can actually test your code in Minecraft.
Wait, what? Learning to code in Minecraft? That's genius.
Right. So cool. Now, if you're looking for free online tools, kiss.tools is a curated directory with, like, no hidden restrictions or anything like that.
Nice. Always good to have a reliable source for free tools.
Okay, Mac users. Clean Mac is a simple script that cleans up all those temporary files and caches on your computer.
Oh, handy. Keeps your Mac running smooth.
Exactly. And if you want to customize your Mac even further, Replaceicon lets you create and customize app icons.
Ooh, fun. Make your desktop look exactly how you want it.
Now, Steel Browser is a browser specifically designed for developing AI agents and applications.
Interesting. So it's like a browser built for the AI era.
Exactly. And last but not least, we have Melchi. It's a tool for replicating data from Snowflake to DuckDB, these two popular database systems.
Nice. Data replication is crucial for a lot of applications. So, wow, that was a whirlwind tour of some amazing developer projects.
I know, right? So much creativity and innovation out there. It's inspiring to see what people are building.
Totally.
Yeah.
And it makes you wonder, like, what's next? What kinds of crazy, cool projects will we see in the future?
Who knows?
Ugh.
But I can't wait to find out. Thanks for joining us on this deep dive, everyone.